Hi everybody, this is Megan Fielder from Algebra Elevated, and today I'm here to talk to you about templates and using templates to make your product creation and your activity creation just a little bit easier. So first of all, what is a template? Well, according to dictionary.com, a template is a pattern or mold to serve as a gauge or a guide. Basically, it means that instead of starting from scratch every time, you have something to start with so that you can easily duplicate whatever you're trying to do or make. Why I think this is important to bring up is that templates are going to look different for everyone. So I hear all the time when teachers are talking about making resources or making activities for their classroom, people are like, just use a template of an old resource. And then you get to thinking, well, what is a template and why do I need to be doing that? So a little bit more about the why you should be looking into templates. They make things faster. So instead of starting from scratch every single time, you have kind of a skeleton of what activity you're going to do or what resource you're going to make or what worksheet you're going to have so that you don't have to build that over and over again. For example, if you are making worksheets for your students, you don't need to enter in the name, date, hour, title, directions every single time you create a worksheet. You could copy and paste that from a previous worksheet and then you're good to go. You're already halfway there. The other thing is that if you're, again, creating worksheets, maybe you use tables behind the scenes. That's what I do. And it's easy to adjust those tables, but it's kind of a pain to get them set up for the first time. So instead of inserting a new table every single time, I'll just go back and use something that I've used in the past as a template, and then it makes it go a little faster. The other reason that you should consider using templates when you're making your worksheets or activities is because it creates consistency. So it creates consistency for yourself as the teacher. Your students know what to expect and what they are looking at because it looks the same or similar every time. Other teachers or other people in your district that are collaborating with you, they know what to expect. And when something looks like yours, they know who to reach out for if they have any questions. And then to take it one step further, if you are interested in selling your resources to other people, that consistent branding, so to speak, or that consistent look is easier to achieve with the use of templates. Now, the other thing that is important about templates is knowing how to use them or how to create a template for yourself. This is where I think I have a different opinion than some, but I like to just take an old resource and save it as a new one. So I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. There's another way to do it where on your computer you can actually create a so-called template, and I'll show you that too and then talk to you a little bit about the difference between the two. So let's go. So here I have one of my dollar deal resources and it's all set up for my students ready to go. So it has the name, date, and hour, title, directions, and then I like to include these option banks for my students. And so by using this over and over again, I don't have to recreate all this at the top. It's just ready to go for the next resource. So what I do as my template is I'll take this one, I'll go File, Save As, and then I'll rename it whatever I want to create a duplicate of that resource without having to start from scratch. Now, the one tricky part about this is if you try to edit it before you file Save As, then you'll actually write over or type over your previous things. So you have to hit undo to get it back to the original format, or you potentially could lose some of the material. This is why some people will like to create a template. So if you go to File, Save As, you can actually save it as a template. And what this does is it moves it into your template folder on your computer, and then you can move it around after that. And then once you have a template, it saves it under .potx, at least on a Mac. I'm pretty sure a PC is the same. With that suffix, it creates a template so that when you open that document every single time, it opens a brand new document. So then that is impossible to type over some previous work. But at the same time, if you make any changes, that template needs to be deleted and resaved as a template. So it will not save any changes to your template, which can be a little frustrating over time. Okay, so I showed you how to save as either just a new document or as a template. And now I want to talk a little more why I don't use the template feature on my computer very often. So I showed you one of those dollar deals, and it's set up, that one was set up without any tables or without any graphs. Well, I have different dollar deals that are all graphs. Maybe it's a graph, solve system of equations by graphing. So there's tons of coordinate graphs, and I had to change the spacing a little bit to fit those graphs. Then I have different resources that are find the slope from the tables. So it's changed a little bit again because now there's tables all over the resource. Each one of those took a little bit of work for me to set up behind the scenes the first time. So I would have to create a different template for each of those. And then what I found is I was getting so many templates that I wasn't even really sure what templates I had because they were just a little different from one another, but different enough that I valued not redoing that work of inserting the graphs or inserting the tables. So instead, I stopped using the template feature and I just started saving as a new document, and it worked a lot better for me because I could find what resource was most close to whatever I was looking for, and then I could go from there. This also works in Google Apps. So in Google Apps, there's no template feature necessarily, but you can always duplicate or create a copy of each of your resources or activities, and then you can use that as your template as well. And same in Canva. If you're a Canva user, you just create a copy and that is therefore your template. Google Apps, that's great because there's a lot of things you can do behind the scenes, especially in Google Sheets with conditional formatting or named ranges, and then you don't have to redo that every time. If you're curious a little more about named ranges, like I just mentioned, I do have a video that I'll link above to explain what that is. Also in Canva, if you're trying to create that consistency again with whatever you're doing, everything stays the same and you can easily change out your pictures or images on anything you're working on. So all that is just a little bit of background information behind what a template is, why you might want to consider using it, and how it might be applicable for you in a little different way. A lot of people talk about it, but not many people explain the details of it, is what I have found. So hopefully this is helpful for you as a teacher trying to create your worksheets for your students. And let me know down below if you use templates in your activities. Also, if you could like, subscribe, and share this video so that other people can find the helpful tips and tricks that I share along the way. If you have any additional comments, feel free to find me on Instagram at Algebra Elevated, and I'd be happy to chat with you there. I'll talk to you soon.